I just want to talk about a movie I watched this evening. I'm a little bit behind in the times where I don't watch that many films lately, and I used to watch an awful lot. And it's rare for something to affect me emotionally, like really affect me. And this really did on so many levels. I was in tears, and I'm not even someone that, like I said, I'm not someone that gets really that emotional, but I cried an awful lot, and I didn't. I had to keep pausing it. It consumed me. Um, So the film was A Man Called Otto. So it's got Tom Hanks, and I think Tom Hanks is incredible in himself um, as an actor. But it was immediate. It was immediate. You could just sense the vulnerability and sort of the innocence in his character, and so that affected me because I think we can when we see a reflection of ourselves in so many ways, it triggers a vulnerability. Um, and I saw myself through this character in so many aspects. Um, so his life was this woman that he met, and she became his whole world throughout his life. And then when something happened to her, his whole sort of sense of purpose and being completely left him. So he became sort of suicidal, and he's sort of trying to come up with little concocting ways to sort of end his time on Earth because it's almost like he'd fulfilled his purpose. Really, without her, life lost meaning, and it genuinely just lost meaning. Wouldn't say I went that far gone, but I do get lonely sometimes. I've certainly have been in the past a lot more. So, but all it did really is shone a light on me, where I am in my life and things. Like I've achieved an awful lot, and I keep persevering against all odds. Um, I fight against injustices, but I think it's the rapid progress that I do on a personal level is quite crazy. Like even I find it remarkable sometimes when I stop to think. But in other ways, it's almost like my life stood still. It's almost like when I see the heartbreak he went through, well, he still existed, but still experiencing. It's kind of what I'm going through too. So it felt like I even wrote in my book, A Father's Daughter, that when my daughter got taken, it's like my whole world came crashing down, and it felt like everybody just died in a car crash, and it's felt like that ever since. We've had time together since then, and I had to fight incredibly hard to get that back, to achieve that, but it's nowhere near what it was. I'm stuck and bound by location. It's just the way it is. If you don't live local, um, you can't have immediate access. And I miss that an awful lot because I used to do the school runs. I used to attend all the school performances. It's just that was my life. I loved being a family, and like I say, away from that, I've got on with achieving my personal goals and just keep elevating myself and developing myself and just growing. But some things take us away from that to reveal to us sort of like where our life is on a human level, on a personal level. And then I realise how alone I feel, and it's like, yeah, damn, I'm still so far away from where I want to be. I actually wrote that at the very end of my last book, A Soul's Journey trilogy, I think in the bonus chapters. So the fifth book, it's like I just said that it's remarkable what I have achieved when I look back and when I take time to reflect, which I don't always do. But I know where I want to be, and that's another journey entirely. So yeah. So anyway, this film, A Man Called Otto, it just it shone a light on my vulnerabilities, I guess. But it's not. It was. I'm discussing it for my own personal trauma, my personal self situation, but that's not why I was upset. But yeah, it was part of why I was upset. So it's almost like it was I was feeling sad for him, so I'm very empathic, so I pick people's energy and stuff, and it's like I care deeply about like people and situations. When I see someone deserves it, if I see kindness in someone, and this is what he was someone who he'd had enough of life, and he always put other people first. So when he lost the love of his life and his whole sense of being, he became almost like resentful and spiteful in a way. That other people weren't self-sufficient. He considered them idiots, I don't think it came from a point of I don't really want to help people, I don't like you. It was more a case of you should be able to do that. So it's almost like a tough love thing. So I can see the sincerity in it, because he always ended up helping people, but he never wanted a thank you. As soon as they started thanking him or giving him any sort of credit, he kept walking off, and that just made you like him even more, because you're like, this guy, damn, this guy's nice. This guy is nice, but doesn't even realise he's nice, and most people wouldn't see it in him. People on the outside would only see the monster that he's trying to portray to keep people at a distance. Really, he didn't really want people getting close to him. Again, I'm very similar like that. I don't let people near me because I've been hurt. I'm self-sufficient, so I don't actually need people. But it reaches a point where you end up isolating and making yourself so lonely that you really do miss that sincere attention, I guess, the people that actually are worth your time. Because I think too many people are spiteful and vindictive, and they hide their mask well sometimes. It's not something I'm going to put up with in my life. But yeah, so then the other parts, so there's so many aspects to the film that just kept hitting me one after another. Then you've got a family that just recently moved in, they went into a rented home. So everything was short-term, temporary. They were living from sort of situation to situation, even though they were genuinely kind and cared about other people. So it showed the disparity in society and culture as well, where the nice people tend to struggle, and the ones that are maybe nasty and selfish, they thrive. So there's a societal imbalance within it. So by the very end, he's helping these people, giving them, it's annoying because I don't want to give away the plot too much, but I kind of have to get to the point. So effectively leaves everything to these people. So sort of through his demise, they got a new beginning and a fresh start of having everything that most others take for granted. That was a beautiful end too. There was just so many aspects to this film that just kept hitting me one after another, and I just get so emotional. I even had to go and lay down for a little bit after because I was just like a complete mess by that point. I was like, God damn, that hit me on every level. Boom, 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 boom. So I think that's important to share that's. So I was talking earlier about storytelling and people not getting to the point. There's too much overindulgence. We just want people to take us on the journey and so we can go with them. And it's so rare, but yet a film is based on a book. I haven't read the book, but if the book's anything as good as the film, then goddamn, that's incredible. Because that's exactly what this film did. It didn't overindulge anywhere, didn't pad the film out, didn't give anything unnecessary. It was everything there. Was a meaning to everything. And goddamn, it's powerful. And that is a book I'm going to get the book, of course, but the film is something I don't know if I'll be able to watch often, because I think that's going to trigger me even when I'm older. Even when I'm older and maybe I've got everything I want. I'm sure that'll still trigger the vulnerability that I had at a specific period when I first watched it, like now. People probably wouldn't notice, probably won't understand why you're upset. But it's because you was alone. Have suffered heartbreak, trauma to the point of it feeling like a car crash, and losing the entire life that was built and cherished. Because I'm not someone that seeks fame and fortunes. It'd be nice to have that level of financial security where you're free. That's nice. So that'd be a nice thing to have, but it's not my be all and end all. I think just being happy in general, just having that life where you have people, unconditional love. That's kind of where I would be happy. I could be poor and have all that, and I'd be happiest man in the world. And that's kind of what that showed too. So I could sort of relate to so many levels, like him even trying to sort of end his life because he felt that there was nothing worth living without this person. He achieved everything through her. Really, it's like. So I got it. Of course, in my books, I wouldn't go that far, because I think we've all got a purpose and we've all got a life to live after. Because there's something else that I feel with things like that, which is exactly what happened. So I've always said, when someone goes, I said it to my mum when my stepdad passed away. I said the point is, it's like a chapter closed in your life. There at that moment, a chapter in your life closed, but you still get a few extra chapters. So you might just use that as chapters to enjoy yourself. His life's not supposed to end here, because if it was, you would be gone too. So he'll be watching on and cheering you on as you sort of create some new memories. And effectively in the film, that's exactly what happened too. You know, he wanted to end his suffering. He wanted to get back to just be with her, because nothing else was worth living for. It wasn't satisfying him anymore. But people kept chipping away at him. Circumstances kept unraveling. In the end, he found purpose and meaning, and he actually had a positive impact on others' lives, and they had a positive impact on him. And then his time naturally came to an end. So it's kind of like similar to what I've been saying to my mum, really. So again, like I say, there's so many deep meanings to this one film. That I just thought was incredibly remarkable and it's worth talking about.